we got a full-blown auto 3-star guide for you here on our special episode's Dark Mode Stinky Frenzy. This is so we can get that Stink-Eye Tortuca here today and knock it out. I'm excited to bring you this guide here, so thank you for tuning in. As always, down below you'll find the timestamps where I'll break down the strategy objective of this particular run, as always, and boss. Then we'll bring it all back together for our retrospective outtake and close and bring home, as we always do. Now, if you happen to have a question or comment throughout, let me know, because I love to hear from you. And come swing by the Discord server and join the community there, my friends. All right, here's what we got going on. Stinky Frenzy. Again, this is a boss level for Stink-Eye Tortuca, completing the Rockstar motion here. As you can see, the Rockstar cookie after the show. This will set you up very, very nicely. But before we dive into it a little bit more, let's take a look at what we have here. We do have our special conditions. Min cookie level is 60. Min cookie level is 60. Well, skill is 60. Then everything else is applied. Here we have debuff resist, we have HP capacity decreased, and healing decreased. So some pretty big hits to that. On top of that, we are going to hit a couple of these Shanty Fruit Duraniers and the Cheer Fruit Duraniers. So one wave, I believe it is, before we get to the Stink-Eye Tortuca boss. Now, the strategy on this guy, we'll talk about here in a second, but a couple things to understand. One, the Captain Durian passive here causes injury to the attacker. So you're going to get a bunch of injury because of that. So that is a key thing to pay attention to. You want to make sure that you absolutely remove that, because he can deal a good amount of damage and knock you down and knock you out. So we have Mace Swing here, deals damage to the closest target and stuns them. Shell of Thorns grants self-damage reflection for a certain period of time and inflicts curse to all enemies. So again, your high velocity, high damage cookies are going to get that reflect, and we have to worry about curse there. On top of that, we got Whirlwind. For the duration of the skill, deals damage to targets within a range, centering self. And then also Projectile Raid deals damage to all targets proportional to their max HP. So not only do you have big cookies that deal max, if it's going to deal 25%, it's going to drop by 25%, no matter what it is. HP at about 6.5 million there, power 210, attack and defense. So really, really key pieces to pay attention to. He can get a lot of injury in there, deal enough damage and knock you out. If you got very, very high velocity damage dealers, you can get that reflect damage and also self TKO. So very important to understand. Now, our team here is actually very, very underpowered relative to the 1.4 million. However, you can absolutely knock it out of the park, and we're going to talk about that and show you here today. So here is the strategy we're going with. We're going with good damage dealers here, but also pretty good HP, but not true tons and tons and tons of single target burst damage. That can be a problem with things like Rye. Rye can actually be too squishy for this, particularly in dark mode. Same for Sherbet. You could flip them on Solid Almonds, but to be aware of, again, you just got to be careful, because if he hits you, stuns you, and gets in close, and you got a lot of injuries, boom, it's going to be game over pretty fast. Now, in this situation, the best thing you can do is actually run 3 healers. We're going for a 3 healer combo between Snapdragon, Pure Vanilla to take off the injury, and Cream Puff here for 2 massive big heals, and then a heal over time with a ton of buffs. Now, our Pitaya Cookie Dragon in the front is a great tanker and can also deal damage. I have been able to do it with just these 4 before, so know that that is actually possible as well. And then we're going to run with our friend Shiny Glitter Cookie here as well. In this case, if you want to flip something else in, you just need to have something that deals damage, or DPS as cookie, but not something that's necessarily going to be that single target like Ryan Sherbet that we talked about. That can create a problem. You probably could go a double up with Dark Cacao as an example as well, or 2 more upfront beefier cookies as another option. Now, the next thing here, the treasures, we're actually going with 1 attack, more defense here with Gatekeeper, and Squishy Jelly Watch for that cooldown. So again, focus on defense, focus on healing. We'll get the damage done over time. We're really focused on tankiness, surviving here, and life. And again, you can see that huge difference between that 920k as well as that 1.4. Now, when we go look at the toppings that we're on, we are on the 5 solid raspberries here with Resident for Pitaya. We're actually on solid almond here for our lovely shining glitter. PV's on cooldown. We're on attack here again for cream puff, and then cooldown for Snapdragon. Now, we do have tons of guides here on the channel that walk through a lot of these different things and some of the main things to pay attention to, substats, all that you can check out. So that is our team setup, the 3 T's, the team, the toppings, and the treasures. All right, let's go ahead now and take on Stink-Eye Tortuca. We talked about a lot of these things to pay attention to, and the strategy that we're taking on in order to get by this big baddie here on stage, Stanking Frenzy. So again, slowing a lot of things down. We get a lot of buffs. Look at this. 4 columns of craziness there. Now, you can always drop a heal in between if you need to. No, it froze it. It actually froze it. I'm just kidding. All right, there we go. Now on to the boss. You'll see how this goes. Let's get that off right away. Lots of damage. You can see how much damage Pitaya Dragon's actually going to do. There's that huge injury, as you can see there, in terms of things to be cognizant of. Here's his attack and his spin move. That when he gets in close like this, he's going to deal lots, as you can see. Really targeting the team there. Oh, barely staying alive. Ooh, so close. Let's get that heal on. We're full blown. We're about halfway through here on the boss. That's the one we really got to be careful of, is when he gets that target and drops a ton of that damage in like that right there. We need to make sure we get that heal on. Whew. Which again is why we have two big healers. And as you can see, Shiny Glitter Cookie falling behind there a little bit. We're down to our last 800. Can we get through before he drops that attack one last time? Are we going to make it here? We'll find out. Oh, it was so close. So close. And we did. We pulled it off. Not unlike one of the last guides where we just got clipped twice right at the end. We got through Stinky Tortuca. All right. Very nice. So much fun. And we got a giant squid. I hope you've checked out our lovely tips on that as well. If not, you should absolutely do that. All right, back to the guide. Wow, that was so exciting. And again, let's revisit this. Whew. Now, again, this is the full-blown 3-star, pretty much auto guide like I showed. You just want to be careful on those heals for Stink-Eye Tortuca here, and the way to get by him and take him down and be successful. We had a successful run there. We talked about our 3-part healer strategy with the damage dealing strategy and your tanks up front. We gave you the 3 T's, the treasures, the toppings, and the team, and broke down Stink-Eye Tortuca like I said. With that, thank you for your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow this amazing community here for CookieRun Kingdom. If you got a question, if you got a comment, let me know. Other great ways to stay connected and in the know and support down below. Lastly here, we got a lot of great CookieRun Kingdom content available to you here on the channel, and more coming all the time. Until next time, I wish you the best of luck. Let me know what you think, as always, in the comments. I love to hear from you because it's a lot of fun. Now, with that, we'll see you soon. Mythras out. Good luck with this one-eyed stink-eyed Tortuca.